Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
He's got AIDS.
I didn't give him those AIDS.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
Yeah, good for you, Donald. Oh, hello all. Good day. I said good day, fine sirs. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay, Big E is here. Kadog is here. How are you, my friend?
Good day, Miguel. I am happy to be here. I
Are
am
you-
well.
Are you well? You're good. It's good to have you well again. You feeling better
Feeling better, sir.
than you were last week?
Energized, ready to go. What happened, E? What happened?
Did you guys break open the smelling salt?
It was a strong salt today.
Dude,
wasn't it?
Relax,
smell
man.
it. I can smell it and I didn't even whiff it.
Well,
How are you, E?
Great.
Yeah, happy to be here. And Kadog's
So
with us
happy.
today. We're happy to
So-
have him.
So happy to be alive on the planet here.
are
with
you
you
really,
guys.
really, are you happy to be alive on the planet?
Yes.
You are. Okay.
Happy as I've ever been.
Very
Mike.
good. How was your weekend, sir?
It's all right.
No, I was talking to Jay. I don't
Oh,
care
okay.
about your weekend.
He's
Okay.
looking straight at him.
I know, dude. Jesus, fine.
No, how was your weekend? We'll
was
start. We'll
fine.
shake it up. We'll start with you.
It was
How was your
fine.
weekend? It was fine. Good.
I took
Jay?
okay.
No, what'd you do, E?
My Christmas present to my brother and sister finally came to fruition as we went to the Michigan basketball game on Saturday, which
How do you do that? You're watching fruition and you just come to it?
fruition. I don't know. Whatever.
Ugh.
I don't know.
It's gross.
However, I said it.
I love E's gift giving, the way he does it, which always includes him in the gift.
I know.
Well, it's
That is how I
usually
do
a
it.
unique
him
thing.
charging tickets on his dad's credit card, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Not always.
I
Not
kind of have a
always.
weird respect for that, though. It's like giving someone, it's like you giving Gab a gift card to a sex toy shop or a.
Oh, you mean like how you give
giving
you mean like how you give panties every
Yes,
every yourself?
exactly. I'm taking a page out of the ebook.
Oh shit.
Yeah, or
No,
giving
E is giving them the greatest gift he could give.
Right,
his
my time.
his
My
company.
time. As we get older, our brothers and our sisters are more busy and life is crazy. So to have a Saturday night to be able to hang out together
Yeah,
is fun.
with no alcohol. There's no
That's
alcohol
not
there.
true.
Do they have alcohol there? The Michigan game?
Oh no, we went to eat before.
Oh.
We went to dinner before, which I also treated, by the way.
Wow.
Wow.
E.
This is
a big shot
one
of
of
you
the, one
over
of the
here.
larger dinner bills I've ever been a part of. I don't buy.
Really?
I
What
don't
did it
have. I
run
don't
you?
do high end dinners. And it wasn't.
Where'd you go, E?
Well, it wasn't- no,
Where did you go?
It wasn't high end, but when you add three, like I don't buy dinner for people very often, if at all. So when you
Yeah.
add 3 dinners and then drinks,
Did
for
you
me,
have
like
second thoughts when the
$80
bill came?
$83 is a lot for me to buy it. For me to buy
Yeah.
dinner, that's a lot for me.
Where did you go?
a Hopcat?
What's a
Hopcat in Ann Arbor. It's Jay
Brewery.
probably. You're right. Yeah, it's like a brewery. They have a few now. I think it started in
There's
Grand
one
Rapids.
in Detroit, right?
Yeah, there's one in Detroit, one in Lansing, I think even now. It started in Grand Rapids, I believe, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was cool though. It's cool. I am finally, I don't know if I referenced it, and I know JR has mentioned it, but I am finally getting like when I go to bar nights, I still drink Bud Lights and stuff for sure. But I am enjoying more going to places like this and like getting beers that are not Bud Lights.
Sampling the wares.
Yes.
That's what I've been doing too. I've actually been sampling craft beers, Jay. Are you proud of me?
Yes.
I went out this weekend, not once, but twice.
Well,
Left the house. I know, dude. It pisses me off. I'm gonna have to fill up my tank probably in the next month or two. I'm probably gonna have to. I filled it up in January. Gas prices seems like they're going up again.
Week. You can wait another week. They'll
But
go
yeah,
back
by
up.
leaving twice, I'm just getting closer to having to fill up again.
where'd you go?
I went to Birmingham.
Oh, God, I'm so
I know.
sorry.
I know. Beth and I went there to the Bird and the Bread restaurant. Yeah, I know. It's very Norm Corey and
Actually, yeah, it sounds good to me.
yeah.
It must have come in after I left. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's been there a year or two. Maybe a year. But that was pretty good.
What kind of food was it?
Oh God. It's one of those
Like they
really
make their
small
own-
menus.
Yeah,
You
make
know,
their own bread.
I
or
got the
something like
short
that.
rib,
Nice.
which is just a hunk of meat on some rooted vegetables.
Ugh. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
I like a lot of
Me
hipster.
either,
I like a
dude.
lot of hipster stuff. Like I like there's restaurants that are cool, but restaurants like that Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
Like,
we drove by and
Hopcat-
Beth was like, "Oh,
Right.
I've heard about that place. I want to try that." And I was like, "All right, well, go there."
Like
But-
where I went was as far as out as I like to go. Like, because like it's a place where the beer, none of the beer is, there's no Bud Light, there's no, and so the food isn't like, it's a little different, but not far enough off the regular train. I
Well
guess.
putty. That was a very descriptive.
I think that
well,
was.
well
I'm
described.
very happy with
sentence.
how I described it.
Hmm.
Very happy with how I described
How
it.
was your
I had
weekend?
a lot of unremarkable things happen to me, Mike, but it was a very busy weekend.
Mm,
Things that
Yes.
the listeners wouldn't be interested in.
a lot of
Lot of-
adult. Jay was in full.
Yeah, dumb shit. A lot of
yeah.
work, running around, but a full weekend indeed. And it really, for us, starts Thursday,
yeah.
as you know.
Yep.
With all the Trump shit, and the Romney statement and all that, that got really interesting really quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that kind of took up my Thursday, Friday reading and listening. To all
Yeah.
that
We were
garbage.
tweeting about a lot of that,
Yeah.
which was fun.
Did you see? I noticed you guys noticed that I put my name in the hat for vice president. Huh?
That's
I
very
saw that,
gracious
E.
of you.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I could help the country out a lot. I think it'd be me and Trump together.
What I
We have
noticed,
wars.
what I noticed about live tweeting something like that is there's very little room to say anything substantive, so you end up just ripping on their looks.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is kind of the point of it, right?
So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. Trying to remember. Well, yeah, you're right. You can't really get into details about
Just
things.
calling Cruz a vampire the whole
Yeah,
time. and
I called
shit.
Cruz a vampire numerous times. I got retweeted by his former Princeton roommate.
Nice.
He
Called his ass
Really?
a vampire.
he responded to me. I called him a
Really?
vampire, and he responded to me. Yeah. So that was fun.
Who was that? Like Craig Mazin? or
Craig
something?
Mazin, yeah,
can't
What did he
stand the
say?
guy, right?
I don't. I said something like it was on the
Oh,
heels
he
of.
responded, but just I retweeted. He didn't respond.
No,
to
he
it.
responded
Oh, okay.
to it. He wrote back. Something because Cruz kind of kicked ass. They thought with winning a couple states on Saturday, and so I tweeted something at him about: is it possible that this country is starting to get behind a known vampire? Hashtag Night of the Living Ted. Hashtag Super Saturday or something. And he was like, no. he said something like
He's like only certain limited states.
limited states today only or something like that.
He hates him.
Yeah.
He hates him.
He sure
No,
does.
especially the fact that he's trolling like other people just tweeting about it and responding just shows how much. I mean, what is that dude
Yeah.
doing? And is like, where was he at?
He's a Hollywood writer. He
you're
writes
right.
movies.
You're right. He has. You're right.
Yeah.
He wrote The Hangover.
The
Wow.
Hangover
Or it's
Part
2 and
2.
3, I think.
Was it 2 and 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, definitely one of them for sure. If
Yeah.
not 2 of them.
Other than that, I did see a couple movies too. I got out of the house, I ventured out and saw a 2-for-1
Mhm.
at the
You're
at
a
the
common-
movies.
you're
they
a
were having
common
a,
thief.
they were having a
No,
sale.
You're a
apparently.
common thief.
Stick it
That's
to the
what you are.
man. Fuck the man.
Well,
A common thief. You might as well walk up to the candy bar aisle at
Well-
CVS and just steal a pocket full of candy.
No,
you are a common
no.
thief.
That's not true because when I went in there, it's
Might
not
as
like
well mug an old lady.
it's not like they went, oh wow, someone's in the seats. We better fire up the projector. They were already showing it. It's like parking on the side of the road next to a drive-in theater. Is
You
the
are
way I look at it.
immoral.
Am I allowed to do
You
that?
are immoral.
Am I allowed to pull up to
You're
a
a
drive-in
thief.
theater? Well, what if I feel like I got absolutely robbed on my first movie,
What'd you see?
Eddie the Eagle?
oh, my
Eddie the, oh, dude, why would you do that?
Well, because it lined up with if just in case we wanted to make it a 2-for-1 deal, the times lined up. So it was
This
like
is a ski jumping movie starring who?
the Wolverine,
Oh, Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman.
Yeah. He's in it, and someone you haven't heard of is the main kid. But it stunk. It stunk really bad.
Isn't that like a Disney movie or something?
It had to have been. I was going to ask you that. It had to have been a Disney movie. I mean, it had all the hallmarks, but it didn't drag you in and get emotional like some of those. It wasn't like Rudy,
Mhm.
which is really PG, but still has a way to make grown men cry.
It's pretty inspirational.
Yeah, it didn't quite have the tug of those. But then I finally went and saw Deadpool.
Deadpool. Who's that? What's that? That's the superhero guy?
Yeah, the bad super or the
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not
Dude,
a comic book
it's
person, but I
fucking
know
great.
I know
Is
it's a
it?
big deal.
yes. I kept hearing how great it was. I mean, it's been dominating in the
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah. Yep. And it's just kind of a play on the whole superhero thing. Have you seen it, Kadog? I'd be shocked if you haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It's great. It really is good. I won't ruin it for anybody or even describe it. I wasn't familiar with the character, but you'd like it, Jay.
Really?
Yeah, I think
You sure,
would.
Mike?
Yeah, I think your kids would like it.
Hmm.
It's rated R, but yeah, you could take them.
I saw a movie.
You did?
Yeah, I watched another movie off that stick.
Yeah, which one?
Black Mass with Johnny
Oh,
Depp,
yeah.
where Johnny Depp plays Whitey Bulger.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Didn't like it, man. I thought he did a pretty good job on a couple scenes, pretty
Mhm.
compelling scenes, like where the guy tells him the recipe for the steak. You see, you watched it, right?
Yeah, I did. I'm trying to remember what that scene
The
is.
guy goes,
though.
"Oh, I can't tell." He goes, "What's the marinade on the steak? It's delicious. You tell me the marinade." He goes, "It's a family secret." And then he just fries him a little
dude.
bit. And he goes, "Okay, it's crushed garlic and a little bit of soy sauce." He goes,
Yeah,
"You just told me the family secret."
yeah.
You know, and he starts harping on him,
Breaking
like,
his
you're a
balls.
rat. You know, you could be broken like that. You know, and just freaks the guy out. That was a cool scene.
That
Couple
was a
other ones,
great scene, actually.
but I don't
Right.
know, man. Just Depp as like a mobster was weird. He looked so strange in it with the receding hairline.
yeah,
the
yeah.
dark eyes.
He
Just-
loves doing that. Getting,
Oh, yeah,
getting
yeah.
into like these weirdo characters. That's like
yeah, I
his
give him
signature
credit for
now.
doing that. He did a good job. His story was just lacking. It was too shallow. They're trying to do a Goodfellas thing, and
Mhm.
I don't know. Was the
Yeah,
story just too
I
shallow
thought the
for
same
you?
thing. Like it was not memorable at all.
Yeah.
Nothing about that movie. You had to retell me the story of the stakes. I just saw it a month ago.
Well, and
I
then
was
he's
like,
got
what?
this inside guy working for the FBI, and yet
Mhm.
all the other FBI guys, it's so obvious, but they're not like they're not busting him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know, just kind of a ridiculous story. But apparently there's some truth to it. It was based on the real Whitey Bulger story. Dude was just
Yeah.
he was on the lam for 20 years or so. Recently caught in like 2012 or
Yeah, in California.
Miami. Or California, you're right.
He was in Santa Monica, I think. Wasn't he?
think so.
Living with some chick, some old bird. Then they find a bunch of weapons and money and shit in the wall, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Something like that. How many movies have you seen off that stick now?
Russell watched a couple. He and Manny watched Spectre. I
Haven't
caught-
that's the only
caught
one I haven't
glimpses of
seen on that stick.
It looks like the typical newer Bond. Lots more action than older Bond movies.
Yeah.
But I was in and out of the room, so I can't say. It looked okay. And then he watched Martian as well, which he really
What did
liked.
he
Yeah,
think? Did he?
that's great.
Yeah, Russell thought it was.
You didn't
sweet.
like it, E?
That was okay.
Really? Yeah, I thought Martian was good.
We all watched Creed, which I mentioned we thought was pretty good.
Mhm.
And there was one, Revenant. We watched off that,
Yeah.
but
so
I've not watched Spotlight.
you
yet.
still haven't seen Spotlight.
Nah, I didn't want to watch it with the boys. It's kind of creepy. I don't think they'd be interested in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if they could watch that. It's not as graphic or as gruesome as you'd think.
I just don't think
with
they'd
the
be
content.
interested in it. They'd be watching
Maybe.
it like, all right, this is stupid.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, sounds like we all got some movies in, and E, you went to the Michigan game. That's cool. Getting out of the house.
It was fun. Thank you. Except they lost, obviously. If
Yeah.
people know. But
Yeah,
They're gonna have to win the tournament to get into the
I
tournament.
know.
Aren't they?
I know. It still was fun. I still like going to games. They had a few moments where it felt like they might win, not win, but they made it close at least.
Where's all that
So,
talk about closing the gap in basketball? Is that no?
Yeah.
You know,
That
shut
closed
the
up
fuck
quick,
up,
didn't it?
man.
It did. They
You
were
know,
talking
as
about
if
that.
I know.
I know
I'm
you
not
don't do that.
I'm not. I'm not happy with Beeline right now. But you know what they're gonna do? The football program's more important. They're at this point. He's brought him to a national championship game. I think they probably think that he can be okay, and he runs a clean program.
I think he's
That's
fine.
enough.
I think he's fine. That's remarkable though. They were in the national championship game 2 years ago, was it?
13.
And they had some major injuries this year.
Yeah, two big ones, but
Levert and Spike.
yep. But
so that's huge.
but for me, it's not good enough. I think he needs to. Not only does he need to make a turn. I mean, God, he has this. Is going to be 2 years in a row of not even making a tournament.
You gotta
I mean,
make it.
he's got to make it, and I think there has to be, in my opinion, there has to be at least a Sweet 16, if Elite 8 or Final 4 in the next 2, maybe 3. If
Or
not
what?
2.
Or what?
Well, in my opinion, he should be gone at that point. But I mean, I think if she's sooner than 3, by the way, when I say 3, I mean, they need to be in the tournament and in the Sweet 16 in the next 2 years. But they won't be. I think they like him enough. Like I said, I think he's a clean program,
Yep,
a clean
good guy,
program.
clean program,
And that's good enough for them. If they think that maybe
to
a
be.
few years he can kind of be okay and clean, that's good enough. We all know it's a football school, which every school, unless you're in some of these big, Duke, State, and even State now with their football team, how it is, it can switch really fast. If your football team gets good, you can go. I think you can go from basketball to a football team or a school pretty fast. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll see. But
whatever.
State's sitting at number 2 right now, right?
Yeah.
Knocked off Ohio State this weekend.
So I have a, when you bring that up, by the way, I was listening. I know you don't listen to a lot of sports talk necessarily, and I haven't been listening as much as I used to. I was talking about Jay.
Yeah.
But I haven't listened as much as I used to. But there is interesting fact. Anyway, one of the people brought up this week that they think if State doesn't win the national championship this year, it should be a disappointment.
They
Do you
should
think
fire
that-
their
do you
coach.
think that?
That's what I
Not
think.
that, but do you think
No,
that?
they should fire their coach.
They're coming together right at the right time. If you would have asked me 3 weeks ago, I'd have been like, "You're crazy, dude."
They've only got what, 5 losses on the season?
Yeah, but there was a stretch there where they were awful. Granted, Valentine was hurt for a stretch. Tum Tum, their point guard, was hurt and still is.
Yeah.
But when they rely so much on Forbes shooting the threes, that's a problem. But they are showing now that they can win without him necessarily hitting threes. But when he's on, dude.
Yeah.
And their point kind of was that there is not that big team this year.
Yeah.
And so there's no question that they're probably in that top 5-ish.
Definitely.
So if they don't win it, it's not saying that they have to necessarily, they're their favorite, but you'd have to be disappointed.
How can you say that though? If you can't say they're above and beyond the rest of the top 5, how can you say it'd be a disappointment? I mean,
that's what they were. I'm just asking. I was more just asking you if you agreed with that.
So many things have to go right. You can
tournament is so crazy.
You can get 2 quick fouls on Valentine in the first 4 minutes of a game, and that game is completely different.
Totally.
You know, or somebody's off on their shooting. It takes
Which is
some
why
Some
stars to
Cinderella
align.
team gets hot.
Right.
Yeah.
We've seen the tournament do more damage to great programs over the years.
Free
which is what
throws
makes
are
it-
clanking, whatever. There's
Yeah.
just so many
Yep.
variables to
Which
it.
is why it's awesome. It's
It-
great.
which
and
is
it's
totally
great and
why it's
awesome.
awesome.
It sucks if you're the team that gets that, bad situation like you just said there. But it's awesome if you're just a fan just watching.
Yeah, this time next week we'll have our brackets, man.
Oh,
Ugh. It's bracket time again already. Wow.
Crazy. The NAACP is just
Right.
going to
Is-
sit
is
down
that-
and bang
Yeah.
this
there's
out.
been a lot of
Hell yeah.
controversy this year. You think they'll still?
Yeah, I think they'll set the racial stuff aside and go ahead and
They
put
do.
the teams
Yeah.
down.
Thank God, because I need to fill my brain. That's an exciting moment.
As you mentioned a little bit ago, Jay, we had fun tweeting about some of the election coverage over the weekend between Thursday and Saturday at Jay Detroit Cast. If you want to follow Jay, at Big E Detroit Cast, if anyone's interested in that.
I
They're
suggest
not.
following me.
They're
but-
not.
At Walters Radio, WOL, obviously, WOLTERS. If you want to follow whatever we're doing. And as Jay mentioned, it's usually just snarky, smuggy comments about everyone.
That's what Twitter's for, man.
Yeah, there's really no other way to do Twitter.
Just snarky observations.
Yeah.
Hoping that one of them picks or catches fire, maybe, and
It's fun, man.
Yeah, it is. It always seems well, I guess it matters how many people saw it, but how many retweets you get and how many favorites you get. Like it's
Profile
a weird
clicks. There's all sorts of.
I still don't understand like the whole social media thing when you're playing to a room of nobody. It seems odd to me. It seems odd when it's like, oh, that got absolutely 0 retweets and 0 likes.
Does that happen to you?
Not to me, no, but I see
but I think he's talking about
but I
people that
see
have 5
random
followers.
people that have, they have 3 followers
No,
and
see,
they're following 200 people, and you're like,
If
dude,
you're not
that is-
doing something like we're trying to do, you follow other people and you use it as a news source. Honestly,
yeah,
like that's what you do. Twitter's awesome as a news source. It's a search engine, really.
yeah,
So you can follow certain writers or actors or whatever you're interested in, and it's awesome. It,
Mhm.
You get there
Keeps you up
right
to
up to
date
date
on-
shit.
yeah. You're right, but it's still weird. The whole thing of it, I'm still figuring it out. But I am liking Twitter more and more. I didn't think I would feel that way, but I am definitely liking it more.
just in time for probably the new thing to come along, by the way.
Yeah, right, right.
I mean,
You know what part of it was? I swear to God, I couldn't get over the name of it. Twitter and tweeting to me just was like, no, I'm not going to be one of those guys
Yeah.
that tweets
so
something.
I tweeted this out last night.
I
You guys see that
tweeted last night. See my tweets? Like, I didn't want to be that guy
Yeah.
for years. Like, I remember having a Twitter account early on and being aware of it early on. It was like, nah, I can't do that. I can't be one of those tweet guys.
The format of it too is a little odd. It's not super intuitive at first. Like you have to kind of get used to how the tweet looks, and then oh, this is coming in, but it's a reply to that. So you know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just kind of a weird thing getting used to it.
Yeah, it is. But one of the things we were tweeting about was Super Saturday. We were both kind of tweeting here and there
We're
about
tweeting
that.
about the debate, man, in Detroit.
Yeah, and the debate at the Fox Theater. Was that? I'm trying to remember which day is which. It all. That was
right?
Friday. Well, because we talked about Trump talking about how big his dick was, right?
No.
Was
No.
that last week or was
No.
that? Did we do it?
That
We
was,
haven't done a
that
show
was at
since
the
then,
debate. Yeah.
dude. That it was
The last time
Yes.
we talked about this, Romney was going to give his speech about what a con man Trump was.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So Romney did that and just picked this dude apart.
Yeah.
That was an amazing thing to listen to.
Yeah.
You know, the elder statesman of this party just picking apart the front runner
Mhm.
for the nomination. You know, the pundits and all that. This has never been done. This is
Mhm.
this is unprecedented. It was amazing to listen to.
Yeah.
Call him a con man. And then of course, the first thing you remember is that he got Trump's endorsement back in 12 and all the nice things he said about Trump, what a great businessman,
Right.
inspiring, all this shit.
Makes it almost proves Trump's point about these politicians
Yes.
playing both sides, saying whatever they have to say.
Just garbage. And so I looked
Yeah.
forward to Trump's response to that, his retort. And he at that point was in Maine. He was about to fly to Detroit to do the debate. And he got up in Maine, man, and rambled.
Yeah, that
For
was
like 40,
really
45 minutes.
rambly.
That dude, I had enough of him at that point. Like
Yeah.
I've never been on the bandwagon. Like I'm definitely voting for this guy. I desperately wanted someone outside the establishment to take the reins and for him to be this guy who wasn't funded, wasn't beholden to anybody.
Yeah.
He could get in there and do his thing, was very attractive to me. But for the fact that this person in this role is Donald Trump,
Yeah.
freaking clown, man.
Yeah.
He showed himself to be such a friggin' clown
Yeah.
during that response to Romney and then during that debate. No way, dude.
Yeah. The debate was rough. The whole circus was rough. But this just double team, triple, quadruple team Donald Trump. I don't know what that
Donald. Breathe.
count to 10
Breathe,
Donald.
Donald.
Like they're all so hateable.
When these guys are done doing yoga.
He's flexible on things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I see what you did there.
It's quick. reveal.
Yeah, and then talking about his hand size.
Dude, he made
and
a
his
dick joke in the first 5 minutes of the debate. That was unreal.
It was unbelievable. I know it was unbelievable. I know. I think I tweeted out like, did our front runner for the presidential election just tell us his dick is how big his dick was, or that he had a big dick? I mean,
He just, to me, like, he just crossed over into complete clowndom. That was really douchey. His whole last few days, and then we're gonna get to this idea that he's making people or wanting people to take an oath. His supporters, take an oath of support. I mean, this is just.
I think he believes his own press that he's unstoppable, and it's been really rough watching him the last couple weeks, especially because you don't want him to play like. The idea of a bulldozer coming rushing through the whole political spectrum, the whole thing is great.
Love it.
I love it too. And that's what's so appealing about him is exactly the reasons you just described a minute ago. But when maybe his kryptonite is himself. And the fact is, when push comes to shove and it's like, okay, the attention is here. You've got my ears. I'm listening. Please sell me something that I can get behind. And when it's like, I think this guy over here, he's attacking my hands. My hands. They say my hands are too small. I've never even heard that. It's like, dude, stop. I don't care about your fucking hands or how big your dick is. It doesn't matter. None of that matters.
Yeah, he laid all that
and
groundwork.
he can't let that go. He
Yeah,
can't. He's
he
not
can't.
capable of taking the higher
You're
road.
exactly right.
That's the
and
problem.
that is the biggest cause of concern. When
Yeah.
when you hear these people saying, well, does he have the temperament to be president, this and that? In large part, they're talking about, does he look right? Does he sound right? Can he give that sound? I don't give a shit about that. But dude, there's something very fundamental to this guy and his ego that I do not believe he can act as president. not in a safe way.
Yeah, that's the fear. And I was asking you off the air, like how much damage do you think he could do? You know, when you really think about it, how much
With
power
the
does
checks and balances that we have, what can the president really do?
yes, like one guy in 4 years, say it's an absolute it's an abortion. It's an abortion of a presidency for 4 years.
An
How much
abomination.
An abomination. I like that. How much damage could a President Trump, I can't even say it, President Trump do?
Well, he could absolutely destroy every relationship we have with every
Well,
world
yeah,
leader.
obviously, sure.
He could issue a ton of crazy executive orders. He could appoint some crazy judges, and he could, I don't know, light the whole world on fire with nuclear weapons.
but other than that, I mean, yeah, it's tough when you think of him having the codes, the nuclear launch codes. Kim, you said, what about
I know
me?
that's really far-fetched. Like, that sounds really stupid and extreme.
Yeah.
But, dude, the guy is a clown, man.
Yeah. He's an entertainer. I don't know, because he comes off as kind of dumb in some of the, and I know he's not a dumb guy. Obviously, he's not a dumb guy, but he comes off kind of dumb in those moments to me, where you would think even he would understand the gravity of what he's dealing with and where he's gotten to. And at some point you have to kick in and sort of be more presidential.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to Gab. Like, he doesn't need to do all that crap at this point. He grabbed the media's attention. He grabbed the world's attention with the way that he came upon the scene. I know that's gross.
Yeah.
We'll clean that up later. But he does that. Everybody knows who he is, knows he's caught fire. Now ride that wave, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to create more wave. Just ride it in. And God, I love the idea of someone blowing this whole thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Not the world, but the whole political system.
Yeah.
I love that. But it was so frustrating to watch him. And Gab and I are just shaking our heads like, oh my God, this is just, it's beyond ridiculous at this point.
Yeah.
That was our conclusion. I know people have come to that conclusion prior, or maybe not. Maybe people are listening to me going, dude, you're crazy. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally, like, I wanted to be open to him.
Mm-hmm.
I did everything to leave my options open, but there's no way in hell I'm voting for that dude on Tuesday.
The problem is too, that from what we've heard behind the scenes, is he doesn't take input very well. He kind of is really a one-man wrecking ball. And so people kind of leave him alone, and he's writing his own tweets. When he tweets out misspellings and all, it's him doing it. It's not like there's a team, which is kind of nice on one level and kind of scary on another, but there's not a team of guys going, constructing speeches for him. Like, he's doing it on his own. And you wish there was a way for people to come in and go, okay, Donald, we've gotten to this point. This is a big boy job. Let's take it more seriously. And here's how we do it. You can still be that guy that's quick with the tongue and isn't going to give a shit what you think about something, and be that powerful leader instead of trying to pander to every small, dumb group that's got an issue in the country. You can still be that without looking like a clown.
Or to say, look, okay, Romney said his thing. Now let's hit him, and let's hit him hard with these 3 points. Yeah. And then we're going to move on to stuff about you. Yeah. Instead, he gets up there and he rambled for 40 minutes, just weaving in and out of what a loser Romney is, and then why trade is best under him, and just weaved around and disjointed. It was really hard to listen to.
It was tough. And like you said, it went for 40 minutes or something. It was a long time. I wonder how much that affected the polls on Saturday. I guess it's impossible to tell. We'll know more in a week.
Yeah, they try to do that late breaking stuff, where they say, all right, at what point did you decide? And they try to draw conclusions from there. And they say a lot of people broke to Cruz. I guess, what was it? Where did Cruz win just the other day? Was it Kentucky?
Cruz won Kansas
and Maine.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess the late breakers were going for Cruz.
Yeah, but wasn't this, and these are caucuses again, where Trump has never done well with the caucuses. And I think this is another one of those where you had to be registered by a certain date. So it kind of eliminated the whole movement.
And you have to stand up and publicly represent yourself as supporting this clown.
Right.
So
that makes it tough too. So I don't know how much you put into these numbers, but I guess they sort of tell a story. So Cruz beat Trump in 2 states. He won Kansas 48% to 23%, and Maine 46% to 33%. Meanwhile, Trump took Louisiana and Kentucky. It was a terrible night for Marco Rubio, who came in third in all except Maine, where he finished dead last behind Kasich. Kasich is the one, by all rights, sounds the best. Honestly, When you see him up on there, he actually sounds the best of all of them to me right now.
I know.
Which is sad because he's got no chance.
But if he can win Ohio, he can really muck it up. There could absolutely be a brokered convention here.
Yeah.
Because Trump has to get to 1,237 delegates. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't win Florida and Ohio, I think that's just impossible. So Florida is important for
Which he's
Rubio.
Winning
he
now.
is. But with Cruz saying Rubio, get out, that's not smart by Cruz, because Cruz would like Rubio.
Is that why Trump is saying that too? Why they're both saying that?
Yeah, Cruz is done. Let Rubio do his thing in Florida and hopefully pull that out. If you're not a Trump supporter, and then Kasich, if he wins Ohio, that really mucks things up. So then you go to a brokered convention, and then Mitt Romney steps in as the guy. This is crazy.
Yeah,
this is absolutely crazy.
Trump said, I think Marco Rubio had a very bad night, and personally, I'd call for him to drop out of the race. I think it's time. Cruz added, people recognize that if we're divided, Donald wins, and if Donald wins, Hillary wins. Oh, I can't vote for Ted Cruz. I can't do it. I'm not voting for a vampire.
Mike, I was about to say I might vote for a vampire. It's either Kasich or a vampire. I'm leaning toward Kasich, but I gotta look at the numbers right now. I gotta figure out where my vote is least wasted and figure out how this thing could work in terms of delegates for Trump.
You're not. I'm not going to let you vote for a vampire.
I might vote for a vampire.
He said, the scream you hear, the howl that comes from Washington, D.C. is utter terror at what the people are doing together. I know, right?
Wow. The leader of the undead army.
That's what he said after the Kansas victory. So, yeah, Trump's in Kentucky looked less certain as he was neck and neck with Cruz for most of the vote, even delaying his final speech. They was like touch and go. Am I going to win this one? So he delayed his speech a little bit. It's been an amazing night. I've been in competitions all my life, and there's nothing so exciting as this stuff. I want to congratulate Ted on Maine and Kansas. He should do well in Maine because it's really close to Canada.
What an ass.
That's fucking. Now that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. Trump then said Rubio had a very, very bad night. I'd love to take Ted on one-on-one. That would be so much fun. I want Ted one-on-one. The biggest victory in all of politics isn't what's happening tonight, but it's the tremendous outpouring of voters that are coming to the Republican Party. Millions and millions of people are coming in and voting, and they've never seen anything like this before. What's happening is a movement, and I'm very honored to say that if I were involved, it wouldn't be happening. I'm kidding, not really, but I'm saying I'm kidding because I want them to say I'm a nice person.
You know, that's a piece of this we haven't mentioned. He absolutely has brought people into this, and he's brought people from the other side over to the Republicans.
Yep.
And they are going to be
go away
pissed off.
Yeah.
He probably got a bump, honest to God, from the Romney talk, because that was so condescending. Like, everybody get in line behind this establishment. Yeah. He probably got a bit of a bump from that. If people like me weren't looking at it and just going, okay, I've hit my threshold with the clowndom. But dude,
could you come back to him?
No, I can't come back to him.
You're done with Trump?
I'm
that
done
bad?
with,
wow. I haven't made that call yet. But
yeah,
who are you voting for? Do you know yet?
I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to. I don't even know if I'll be able to vote.
But honestly, if they feel, and he'll signal when it's time to do this, if they feel that he's been treated unfairly, like he's been watching for the whole time, will they revolt? And they will not support whoever gets plugged in after this brokered convention, and it will be a Hillary landslide.
Yeah,
it's going to be Hillary. Yeah. I mean, this is just such a mess.
Dude, 12 years,
such a mess shit on the other side. They have themselves to blame, man.
That I don't want. That's the only thing I know I don't want is a Hillary. And I'm not saying that I'm voting for Trump, but I'm just saying Hillary presidency is the only thing I know I don't want.
That'd be brutal.
Yeah, it's funny too, listening to all the experts and talking heads talk about how the Republicans have really done this to themselves by not taking a stand against this guy. I mean, it basically speaks for the whole party and how everybody feels and is supportive. They're all basically, everyone's just a racist across the board. If you're a Republican, you're just a racist, and you've done this to yourselves. And to me, it's like, outside of Jeffrey Lord, nobody, and I mean 100% of people never thought this was humanly possible. Why would you even give it airtime?
No, but when,
as an expert, why would you even say, like, we need to stop Trump? Because nobody thought it was a possibility.
But when they say the media has supported this, it's because the media has continued to just cover him and him alone. And that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
Like they haven't
4-1
to him
over Rubio and Cruz combined.
Yeah.
Combined.
They in no way have they kowtowed to him and said, hey, everybody go to Trump. Trump's the guy. But they've covered him.
But that's
night
what you're
and
doing
day
with the advertisements. Even you've heard the saying, all press is good press. He was just all press.
Yeah.
He's been an absolute news cycle every minute of every day for 9 months now.
It's been a perfect storm of just unbelievable shit. You know, his personality able to take take advantage of that. The climate in the nation, just hating the establishment and wanting something different.
And don't think the Democrats are much farther off. They're not. How do you think a socialist gets up to running neck and neck with Hillary Clinton? Because they're as fucking putrid as anybody else. They're equally as tired of the shit. It's just a much less kinder, gentler fight. But that speaks volumes that a socialist is running neck and neck with what everybody thought was a runaway landslide for Hillary Clinton.
How uninspiring your lead candidate really is.
Yeah.
That shows a lot. Oh, the lead candidate, by the way, who may be indicted for crimes based on the emails. Haven't even talked about that.
104 of them come out saying that they're classified nature just this weekend.
Incredible. Hey, should we check in with Griffin?
Sure.
Guy who was at a Trump rally this weekend.
He was at the one locally.
Yeah, Macomb Community College, I believe. Let's see if we can ring him up.
Wonder what he thought of the Donald. I don't think I saw. Maybe I saw snippets from it. How old is Griffin?
He's in college. Spartan.
Oh. Not taking our call.
Hello?
Griffin.
Yeah.
Hey,
buddy.
it's Jay and Mike from the Detroit
Mike
Cast.
and
How you
Jay
doing?
from the Detroit Cast.
How's it going?
Hey, man, you're
Hey,
on the
buddy.
air. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Very well. Did you end up at the rally the other day?
I did. Yeah, me and my dad got there around 7 a.m. So basically like 2 hours before it started.
Nice. And that was at Macomb, was it? Macomb Community?
Yeah, Macomb Community College, yeah.
So what took you there? Are you like a huge Trump supporter, or was this just like the theater of it? You just wanted to see it?
I mean, so basically this is the first time I'm going to get to vote because I'll be 18, or obviously I'm already 18, and so this is the first presidential election. So, I mean, I've kind of been following politics this year. And so, I mean, I would like the remaining Republican candidates. Trump's my favorite, so I was like, I mean, I follow him on Twitter. I think his tweets are funny. I've been watching like the debates and stuff. So I'm like, you know what, Dad? Like, we should. I got tickets. Like, I signed up with through his email thing. I'm like, we have nothing going on. Like, let's go. Let's like see what it's all about. And it was pretty fun.
Nice.
It was.
Was there
a trip?
Were there a lot of people there, Griffin?
Yeah, there were. They ended up turning people back. It was basically like 3/4 of like a huge conventions like expo center in there, and so like the bleachers were full, like the floor was full, and then they ended up not letting a certain amount of people in about 30 minutes before 9, like before the rally started. So they turned people back. Yeah.
So how does this thing start? How does he whip everybody into a frenzy?
So as soon as he walked in and got on the stage, everyone started chanting like to build a wall, or like like they want a wall. So that's how it started. And then
were you loud and vocal with this chant? Did you get into the chant?
Yeah, I got a Snapchat and a couple videos, so it's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
So then he was like, "Don't worry, folks, like we'll build a wall." And then he was like, "So who's gonna pay for it?" So then the whole crowd started chanting Mexico.
It's a movement, Griffin. This isn't just a
you're
campaign.
part of a
It's a
movement.
movement.
The craziest one we've
I will
ever
say-
seen in American politics.
Yeah, dude, enjoy your first presidential campaign. You'll never see another one like this.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yep, you won't. Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
So what we read over the weekend was he wanted people in Florida, I guess, to take an oath, supporters of his, that take an oath of support. Did he go there at all with you guys?
No, he did not talk any about the any oath or like any kind of that kind of thing.
Would you have done it, Griffin?
But I mean, would I have done?
Yeah, would you have raised your hand and
Your
promised?
right hand, left on the Bible.
I would do it just like he's done the
yeah.
whole oath or signing the whole thing with the Republican Party saying how he won't run as an independent. But let's be real, if he doesn't get the nomination, he's still gonna screw.
Oh,
Or he can run as an independent.
Glad you
You're a smart
recognize
one,
that.
Griffin. You're absolutely right.
So was there any rabble rousing by the crowd, like
protesters?
protesters going nuts? Did people chant them out? If
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, there were about I'd say around like 5 protesters where basically like as Trump was speaking, you would hear like a huge like commotion, and then like people would start yelling like protester or like stuff like that. Like the crowd would just start turning, pointing at like people that were protesting, or so they were protesting. I mean, I don't know. Then all of a sudden Trump would stop. He'd be like, you're like, get him out of here, get him the hell out of here, and then instantly like Secret Service and cops would like escort him out, and then the crowd would chant USA.
Awesome.
That's great. Are you glad you went?
Yeah, it was a good experience. It was funny, and he had some good points at the same time. Like it was like half like stand-up comedy at like a point, but then he also had some good points, which I found interesting. So
yeah.
So what'd you think? What'd you think of his?
I'm glad I went.
What'd you think about his performance at the debate in Detroit?
The debate.
As a supporter, I mean, did you?
You know they're gonna backfight, like bash each other, that kind of stuff, and then the whole hand joke and all that, like that
joke.
kind of thing.
Yeah, that wasn't a hand joke. That was a dick joke.
That was
Let's
a
be
dick
clear.
joke. Yeah.
It was a dick joke.
It's kind of funny. Anyway,
Well,
well,
I got a question.
go ahead, E.
Being like a young person, dude. I mean, I just knowing
You should
young
be
people.
feeling the burn.
No, a lot of people are railing on people. Like when I'm doing comedy and stuff, people rail on anybody that's into Trump. Are you having like? Have you told friends? You're in college, you say. Have you told friends that you're like Trump or vocally?
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, in my friend group at least, there's a couple of us that support Trump. I mean. And then there's a couple that are just like completely bash on us, and then like we bash on them. I mean, I will say though, like there definitely are people that support Trump my age, but then other of my friends that are Republicans, at least, like they don't like Trump, but they have no idea who they're going to support.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am.
They're like anyone but Trump. So I mean, yeah.
Nice.
I feel like there'd be more feeling the burn at your age.
Yeah, like we should all share, man.
There definitely is, yeah. Oh,
That's where I think young people would be going.
Bernie and Hillary, at least. Like, I don't know, one of my journalism classes, there's like 20 people in it. There's like even the professor. It's all Democrats. It's all Bernie Sanders. It's all free college tuition, like that kind of thing.
It's easy to sell that shit to young people.
Yeah.
You don't have any life experience
the only problem is that the young people won't go out and vote in the primary for him. So he's losing to Hillary right now.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Well, interesting times, man. Glad you're taking part in the process, Griffin. And
you're ahead of the curve, sir.
Glad you were able to give us a few minutes to talk about your experience. Appreciate it.
Are you up at State right now?
Yeah, no problem. What's that?
You up at State right now?
Yeah, I'm up at State. Spring break this week, but sophomore at Michigan State.
Nice.
Spring break at State. You're keeping your nose clean, right, Griffin? You're not drinking or anything. You wouldn't want to get out of control, get yourself in trouble, being underage and all.
Right. Yep.
Well, have a soda for us tonight, sir.
Have fun, man.
All
right. Thanks, Griffin.
Will do.
See you, buddy.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Awesome.
18 at Michigan State.
Damn it!
I know.
Oh, he's living the dream. He doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know how much he's living the dream right now.
He might.
Can I go back?
He's buried in bitches and beer right now, and it's going to be over soon. It's going to be over soon.
I'm going to be 21 again. Strike that. I'm going to be 21 again.
Your life ends in like 2 years, Griffin. Enjoy it now while you can. You're going to be dead on the inside in 2 years.
Oh,
Dead on the inside.
He'll hate life. He'll be cynical, realize it all.
Oh, yeah, you are. You're going to grow up and within 5 years, you're going to hate life. You're going to be working some shit-ass job you hate. Oh, it's just terrible. Life is only going to get worse. So enjoy your next couple of years.
Better.
Take it all in. Get your stories now, son.
It's not getting better. It's definitely not.
Go ahead.
Hey, spring's almost here, which means soon April showers will bring May flowers. You ever heard that one, E?
Never.
So let's start celebrating spring a little early at Zott Ford and Holly, where right now you can lease a new 15 Ford Edge for just $199 per month with only $1,000 out of pocket. You heard right, $199 for all new 15 Ford Edge while supplies last from our friends at I-75 and Exit 98. See their blasphemous deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
You referenced when you were mentioning to Griffin there, the Donald Trump's oath.
Yeah.
And the thing with oaths is, we've all done the I pledge allegiance to the flag. And if you do that,
That meant nothing to you?
No, it did. But
Mike,
I think here
to the republic for which it stands,
one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. But you have to
play ball.
But you have to do that, and you go, I pledge allegiance to the flag. Like if you're going to do that, you go in really small increments. You don't you don't give him too
he
much.
gave
to
like
chew.
the whole thing and tried to have, and
I
everybody's
think-
like,
I think Trump made a critical error here and tried to, it's like the wedding vows, where you have the guy.
You need a nice bite-sized chunk.
It's got to be bite size. I insert name here, pledge to do X, and then you just kind of handhold them all the way. You can't give them too much to bite off
He
and
gave
chew.
him too much, did he?
I think he did.
Hmm.
Do we have this here, Kadog?
Okay, wait. Let's do a pledge. Everybody here, who likes me in this room?
This is unreal.
Okay.
Okay.
I've never done this before. Can I have a pledge, a swearing? Raise your right hand.
Oh my God.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I, no matter how I feel, no matter what the conditions, if there's hurricanes or whatever,
Yeah, there we go.
that I, no matter how I
I feel
and
conditions,
That's good
hurricanes, or
enough.
tornadoes.
okay, good enough.
will vote on or before
She's a wall.
the 12th for Donald J. Trump for president.
See what I mean, though? I think when he started to get
Yes.
into the whole tornadoes and stuff, like,
Yeah, I was like typhoon. What? I couldn't remember the
Don't
natural
forget,
disaster.
you all raised your hand. You swore bad things happen
This
if you
one's
don't
dressed
live
up as a
to what you
Yes,
just
that is the
did.
best part of this video. Right behind him is a woman in a jumpsuit. That is,
It looks like
she markered out like a wall, bricks on a wall.
yeah.
Oh boy.
What did you think of the crowd in Detroit, by the way?
Oh, dude, I was
can't
annoyed.
say I was
Seemed like
terribly
you-
shocked. I can't.
The guys behind the moderators like
Yeah.
waving to the camera and shit. Like,
Mugging
come
for-
on, can we act like we've been,
I know it's an
exposed
event.
to events before Detroit?
Yeah.
I
I mean, I don't know who
That-
you blame. They
that
bring a
did
circus to town, and
yeah. I'm sure
But-
that did not play well nationally, though.
no,
I'm
it
sure.
didn't.
I'm sure people around the country are like, "Oh, nice assholes,
Yeah.
dude with the beard,
Yeah.
doing some like wrestler sign or some shit."
Yeah, doing this like kind of poking their head into the camera,
No.
man.
making faces. It's like I feel bad because we live in this area, and it's like, no, that's not how you want to be representing. But
That's why my tweet about that apologized if any were listeners.
Yeah.
and I continue. No offense, listeners, but that was Bush.
to wrap up Donald Trump for the day, Louis C.K. Did you see him? The letter he sent out or the email he sent out?
I keep hearing about it, but I haven't read it.
He's got the what is it? Horace and Pete, which
Yeah,
is
I want to start watching actually.
a show he's doing. And I love Louis C.K. I really do, and he's very, very funny. He's and everything he does, he tries to do outside of corporate America, which I have a lot of respect for. Like he'll go, my new stand-up special is going to be $5. You get it here on my website, and it's basically an honor system because the K-Dogs of the world can steal it very easily and then blast it out.
So this
everywhere.
is like the Radiohead thing. Just pay us what you think it's worth.
Right. And he raised $1 million overnight by doing that. But, a lot of these have, the technology and CDs and stuff makes it so that you can't, the copyrighted material is there's things burned on there to prevent you from stealing it and posting it. And he removes all that shit because it costs money to do all that stuff to try to. So he's like, fuck it.
I was gonna say, Kadog, is that Massey or is it CK?
That's Massey. That's obviously.
Look at the
Massey.
other one though.
That is, why is he singing into that mic? That's our mics. Seems like we're whatever. So anyway, he's got this, he's got this new show. Was it Horace and Pete cartoon that he did? And it's the same type of thing. Well, this episode's $3. If you want it, get it here. But and then if people pay for it, we'll do another one. Shit like that, but not getting a company behind it. It's kind of cool. So anyway, with his email blast out to everybody, he sent out this email as well about Trump, and it says, so he does his Horace and Pete thing, and he's like, P.S. Please stop it with voting for Trump. It was funny for a little while, but the guy is Hitler, and by that I mean that we are being Germany in the 30s. Do you think they saw that shit coming? Hitler was just some hilarious, refreshing dude with a weird comb over who would say anything at all. And I'm not advocating for Hillary or Bernie. I like both of them, but frankly, I wish the next president was a conservative, only because we had Obama for 8 years and we need balance. When I was growing up, when I was a younger man, liberals and conservatives were friends with differences. They weren't enemies. And it always made sense that everyone gets a president they like for a while and then hates the president for a while. But it only works if the conservatives put up a good candidate. Trump is not that. He's an insane bigot. He is dangerous. We should choose based on what direction the country should go. I get all these people saying, I get people, these people all sound like bullshit, soft criminal opportunists. The whole game feels rigged and it's not going anywhere but down anymore. I feel that way sometimes. And that voting for Trump is a way of saying, fuck it, fuck them all. I really get it. It's a version of national suicide, or it's like a big hit off a crack pipe. If you're a true conservative, don't vote for Trump. He is not one of you. He is one of him. He is playing you. He goes on and on and on.
Well put, Louis.
Yeah, it's an interesting read. I know a lot of people are going to go, oh, fuck you, because Louis, I think, is a pretty hardcore liberal. He's probably a Hillary fan.
Mm-hmm.
I know he wasn't a Bush fan at all. But yeah, that's the fear with the whole Trump movement, is you just don't know. That's why I asked you the question earlier, like, how much damage could a guy like that really do? Could one guy's ego really turn into Hitler at some point? Could it? Could this country?
Improbable, but you just no, I don't know, dude.
I think I'm still voting for him, though. I'm rolling the dice. Fuck it. Because that's the message I want to send. Like, you know what? Fuck it. The whole system is rigged. It doesn't feel rigged. It is rigged. And you're seeing it right now. I tweeted about it earlier. The whole Flint, Michigan is going on today. And I said, enjoy it, Flint. You're in the national spotlight. These people are going to pretend to actually give a shit about Flint, Michigan for the next 24 hours until the news cycle turns over tomorrow and they're off to another state to talk big shit about.
Great point.
I mean, that's what it is. Let's be honest about it.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of caring glares and nods of the head as the citizens of Flint stand up and ask their questions. And,
what these people have done to
it was
you.
immoral.
Yeah. What they're doing to you is wrong, and we need to stop it and stand up for Flint, Michigan. And that's what Hillary 2016 will do for you.
That's us.
I give a shit about all you poor, decrepit pieces of shit here in Flint, Michigan. I've been here for almost 48 hours now. It's disgusting. And we blame all the politicians on the right for doing this to you. Yeah. And when Byrne is in office, I will fix all of this for you. I'm thirsty, goddammit. I don't want a glass of water from Flint. Jesus Christ. I mean,
and then it'll go to Florida, right?
Where's next on the list of
hurricanes
of
have got to go?
Oh, dude, you gotta, you can't blame them for this one. This is tailor-made for a political issue, though. Come on, I mean, this is beautiful.
This is like 9/11 for
poisoning of a population.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just beautiful.
It's got
on a platter.
All the hallmark issues for a liberal are in one foul swoop. You've got basically a shithole and health problems. You can point fingers at people in politics, but it's just the whole using it for political gain part that bothers me, because I don't believe for a second that these people actually give a shit about people. It's like, look at this perfect opportunity served up on a platter, as you said, to take advantage of people. It feels like you're taking advantage of this situation, and you'll be gone on to the next advantage-seeking opportunity over here next week.
Of course.
And that's personally what to me has always been so intriguing about the Trump machine. Not that I don't laugh just as much as everybody else at him and feel he's clownish at times and his hair is weird and the things he says are absurd, but it does feel totally out of the norm.
Mike, there's an alternative to the establishment, another candidate that I don't think you're giving
I'm not ready to go vampiric. I'm not.
I don't think you're giving consideration, fair consideration, that is.
We can do more, Flint. You nerd. He's just
nerd. You're a dork.
He's too big of a nerd. He's too big of a nerd. Caitlyn Jenner wants to be on his team.
I know.
Yeah.
And that's something.
Oh, yeah.
What's the LGBTQRS
LMNOP, WXY,
how do they feel
community?
About that?
They are not happy.
Backing a conservative?
Yes. Caitlyn Jenner is receiving humongous backlash.
What did he have to say?
After he said he would like to be Ted Cruz's trans ambassador. Now, I get where this is coming from.
Transylvania?
Exactly. She's thinking that he's from Transylvania. I'm trans. I'm a trans person. But I don't think anyone's explained to her that Ted Cruz, while from Transylvania, is not really pushing the trans agenda. I know it's a common mistake.
I wonder how he would. Has he responded to this?
What's he gonna say?
I don't know.
That's a lose-lose.
I could see him. I disavow. You know,
But I'll take the support. I don't know.
I could see him disavowing
And-
that.
Let's be honest. Why wouldn't Caitlyn Jenner? Let's be honest. Caitlyn Jenner is just Bruce Jenner, a very wealthy white man. like, cut away all the
if you're
bullshit.
talking about tax policy and so forth,
Of
why wouldn't you
course.
be a Republican?
Bruce Jenner, of course, would be a 65-year-old white male living in Los Angeles worth $100 million. Why wouldn't he be for Ted Cruz?
Right.
He cut off his dick. He didn't lose his finances.
He has not cut off his dick. He's just
Oh,
tucking
yeah.
like a little bulldog.
God, I watched that show. I watched a few episodes of I Am Kate just
I
to
watched
see.
1.5. I think
It's
of them.
brutal.
It was so horrible. It got
It's
canceled,
brutal.
didn't it? It's
I
gone,
thought they
right?
were doing a second season.
Oh, I thought it was done. Maybe I guess I'm wrong. But yeah, no,
it should be
brutal.
canceled. Like, I don't.
The ratings went downhill. I think.
Yeah, they were tough. They were tough. I watched a couple episodes and it was like the focus is complete. I mean, how could it not be just a focus on him being tranny? So he's just in a room full of trannies and there are all these dudes dressed up in fucking cute makeup sitting around talking about how targeted they are
And
and
you can
how they
only
don't.
laugh about that for like 5 minutes, and that gets old.
You would think it's the biggest topic in the nation. Like, there's a whole episode dedicated to my renaming ceremony. Like, we're having a celebration for my renaming, and all these assholes are there, and they fly in Boy George to sing Karma Chameleon or some horse shit. Come on, my face. But yeah, it's just a weird thing, and I sat there like. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as hideous as that show is, and as much as you want to shoot each and every one of them, there's something weirdly watchable about it. Like watching them go through life, there's something kind of crack-like, you know,
Not
watchable
familiar with
about
that
it.
feeling, Mike.
that. Well, it's
Yeah,
there.
I watched episodes. You're right.
You know what I mean? Though
Yes, I
you can
do.
find yourself going, I can't believe it. Why am I watching this? Who cares? Why? What is this?
Right.
But it's somehow watchable, and there's cliffhangers, and oh my god, I got to come back after the commercial break and see what happens. I'm dying to know how Kim's going to get through this.
Really?
Yeah, those moments happen, few and far between, but they're there. I did not get that feeling with I Am Kate. Like it was just like
No, it was awful. You're right there. By the way, there is a season 2, so I guess it's coming. It either started already or it's coming. But you're right.
Is Boy
So-
George just a gay man, or
I
is
think
he a
so.
tranny?
Not a tranny.
God, remember how shocking that was back in 1985 or whatever?
Yeah.
That was.
Did you like Culture Club?
I did not.
Yeah.
I never liked that song. What else do they have? Check him out, man.
Yeah.
Karma Chameleon.
They had a string of hits, man. There was a couple albums. Why can't I think of them right now? Greatest hits.
Yeah, that album was huge, right around the Thriller time and all that.
Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? There's that. I'll tumble for you.
I tumble for you.
I tumble for you. It's a miracle. Color by Numbers was a huge album.
Color, but yeah.
That was the big one.
Do you really want to hurt me though? That was it. I mean, that's
yeah. Boy, they went away quick, didn't they? 82 to 99.
Then he did
a couple
but
albums.
then he did the Crying Game, right?
What?
He did the Crying
Did he
Game
do the song for the
yeah.
Crying Game?
About the crying game.
Oh, really? I don't
think
remember
so.
that. That
Didn't he,
movie scared
Kadog?
me. Probably.
Because the crying, I
Um,
mean, that it fits into the whole Boy George thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Does it ever? Boy
Yeah.
George.
Yeah, number 1, the Crying Game. Boy George.
Wow.
That's the last I heard of him. I don't know. And then maybe he became a DJ or something though.
Yeah.
I think he's on the scene that he's on right now.
Yep.
Old
A lot of
EDM
those
thing.
guys are on that scene. Yeah, I think you're right, dude. I think he did become a DJ, but he's also sang at Kate's
Awesome.
naming party. Congratulations for that. Anyway, lots of people took to social media to blast Caitlyn. I've unfollowed I Am Kate and Caitlyn Jenner. As a woman who loves and respects women, I feel duped and disrespected. Another added, she isn't doing anything to advance LGBTQRS, LMNOP, QRS, TUV, WXY, and Z politically.
No.
That's what the problem is there. The tranny icon said she backed Cruz and wants to be made. She made an ambassador comment too. Could you imagine? I like Ted Cruz. I think he's very conservative and a great constitutionalist and a very articulate man. Were Cruz to be elected president, Jenner would like to be appointed trans ambassador to the United States. I would have all my girls on a trans issues board to advise them on making decisions when it comes to trans issues. Isn't that a good idea? Despite the feelings for Cruz, Jenner didn't formally endorse him, saying he's an evangelical Christian and probably one of the worst ones when it comes to trans issues. While the Democrats are better when it comes to social issues, Jenner thinks the GOP fiscal conservatism is more suited to serve transgender Americans. If we don't have a country, we don't have trans issues.
I honestly would love to hear Cruz's response to this.
Yeah,
he probably sees this as a real pickle. Boy, I don't want to step in this.
What do I do? We need jobs. We need a vibrant economy. I want every trans person to have a job. With 19 trillion in debt, we're spending money we don't have. Eventually, it's going to end, and I don't want to see that. Socialism did not build this country. Capitalism did. Free enterprise. The people built it, and they need to be given the opportunity to build it back. Smoking like a smart gentleman,
rich white guy,
right? Cruz's question transgender rights a lot of times. I've got 2 daughters. Carolyn and Catherine,
neither of whom can stand me.
Neither of them can even fake a kiss on the cheek of this here vampire on camera. But yeah, when stories have come up about, this transgender person wants to take a whiz in the locker room with the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I don't want my girls to go through that and have to deal with that. So he stood firmly on that road, and so that's why people are outraged.
That's his only real statement on the record about the issue.
Yes. I'm the father of 2 little girls. Carolyn and Catherine are 7 and 5. I don't want my daughters taking showers with little boys. I don't want them when they're in junior high or high school. It's absurd. No parents do. In Iowa, he said he was talking about them using other facilities. Said, I'll say that inflicting a transgender student on the teachers is probably better than sticking him in the shower with the teenage girls. And then talking about them being in the military, he said we shouldn't view the military as a cauldron for social experiments. And then he just like in a cloud of smoke went poof, and then he was gone. A little flutter and then gone. It was really weird. Yeah, it was odd. Very odd thing. Yeah, that is kind of a pickle, isn't it? To put him in.
Yeah.
What do you think? Is it a great opportunity for him to look like a progressive on something, or does it hurt him?
I think his base would hate him if he completely accepts it. I think the answer has to be, I love all people.
Except those people. Yeah, what do you do there?
I don't hate the sinner. I hate the sin.
I mean, is that like disavowing David?
That's what
Duke?
I mean. Is he going to disavow? What's his response to this? I would press him on this.
I would too. Vampiric.
Yeah,
vampiric.
I can't look at him. I might vote for him.
Can't, Jay?
I might.
Just burn your vote. Just throw it away. Anyway, why don't we take a quick time out and tell you about boobs for Bernie? We didn't even mention Nancy Reagan.
Right.
Well, yes. It's been a rough day. The O.J. Simpson knife. And then an attack at a Sikh.
Oh, these poor Sikhs. They're really taking the brunt of this, aren't they?
They really are. It's not their fault. Anyway, we'll do that and much more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hey, it's Steve Gabarra, the general manager at Zott Ford and Holly. We're much closer than you think, and we specialize in getting folks out of their lease up to 12 months early. It doesn't matter what brand or how many miles you have on it. The team at Zott Ford will assist in terminating your current lease with no penalties and hook you up with a sweet new Ford. So dump your overpriced, over-mileage lease and let your friends at Zott Ford make your wildest dreams come true. Check out our astonishing deals and massive inventory at ZottFord.com.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay.
Mike, we got to mention the Amazon link.
Amazon.
Hey, please use our link. It's on the Detroit Cast, DetroitCast.com. There you'll find a link to Amazon. Shop as you normally do. Everybody shops on Amazon. It's a great way to donate to the show. You buy, we get a little bit of a kickback. Things aren't priced high or anything like that. We just have this great relationship with Amazon where we get a kickback. So awesome way to help fund the show.
You think they have everything I'm looking for? That's what I worry about, Jay. I got to be
There
honest
is
with you.
very little Amazon doesn't have.
Oh, that's good to
It's
know.
an amazing company, Mike.
Really?
There has never been a company quite like Amazon.
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 Can we take a quick second to thank everybody who's been donating to the show too?
Yes.
That's
Definitely seen an uptick in that. We appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
It's awesome.
those reoccurring monthly stuff. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you everybody that's done that, doing your part to try and keep this show afloat.
Much appreciated.
Yes. Bernie Sanders, obviously in Flint today. E and I were just upstairs as they're polishing the stage and getting everything ready to go. And
so infuriating to me.
yeah, it looks very glamorous there in Flint.
How nice for all
as,
of them.
CNN preps the stage for Bernie and Hillary.
Are you gonna play that?
But they should.
That could be your intro music.
Every time she opens her mouth.
He was Bernie was
That's Hillary Clinton.
I know it's been the crazy, and that's not even the craziest thing that's happened in the cycle.
This is President Obama.
Now you know that guy ain't shit. So what happens when we go out to a party with some sisters, huh? What happens? Tell you what happens. Blam! They on us like there's no tomorrow. Got nothing
High
on
school
me.
chicks,
Right?
university
chicks.
Yeah, that was.
Can I have some of your fries, Jay, really quick?
You ain't my bitch, nigga. Buy your own damn fries.
Well, geez, you just could have said no. Bernie Sanders was in Ohio, and he was pandering to the fine folks of Ohio. And I have nothing against Bernie Sanders. I think Bernie means what he's saying. I really do.
I agree with you.
There's a believability to Bernie Sanders. I really mean it's fun to make fun of him. But I really do think of both of those choices. He really thinks like he's doing what's best for the country.
I completely agree with you. I think he believes it. He would do it. He would try his best to implement what he's talking about.
Fail miserably.
And he thinks it would be best.
Yeah. Hillary, on the other hand, I think would say anything to get your vote. I don't care what it is. I think it's a hilarious story. I know they're bagging on Trump and stuff for not releasing his the newest thing was about his meeting that he had with the New York Times.
Right.
One of those off the record
where he allegedly said, yeah, I know I can't do shit with this wall. I can't do shit with immigration, but
yeah, or that's the rumor.
Right.
Who knows what he really said? And part of that, I kind of believe like there's more to Trump than just like that promise or promises like that. I think it's more an attitude. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that I expect, well, yeah, if a Trump presidency happened within 4 years, there'd be this grand wall and 11 million people would be booted out of the country. I don't know that I believe that's even possible.
Is it all just hyperbole? Like you're just buying into kind of this, like you say, attitude or approach to things, not necessarily the specifics of the wall.
Right. I've heard politicians get around election time and yammer on about, I'm going to be the one to build a wall for 30, 40 years. I mean, they've talked about that. It's a talking point is all it is. And it's like, okay, give someone else a chance to see what they can do. The guy that he does build 100-mile tall skyscrapers. Why couldn't he throw a wall together? Whatever. Let's see what he can do. You assholes obviously can't do anything. But anyway, I'm getting off point. Bernie Sanders was in Ohio and some chick has gone viral with the hashtag boobs for Bernie.
So far, I'm in, by the way.
Yeah, right?
I just heard that and I'm in. I don't know what the movement's about.
Margaret Bradford of Ohio was attending his event close to Cleveland is where he was with her 6-month-old daughter, Harper. And she felt it necessary to whip her titty out and start titty feeding the kid.
She felt it necessary to whip her titty out.
Tatted titty.
Yeah. What is that? That looks like is that a Juggalo tattoo?
I think that's the Hatchet Car Club. I'll verify that, but I think that's what
That
that
looks
is.
like it
I don't
doesn't
know what
look
it
like a
is, but
dancing jug. It looks like a
I don't remember,
juggalo.
but I've seen that logo
I can't
quite a
make
bit,
it
but I don't know
out.
what it
Dude,
is.
that looks like a juggalo.
I don't think so. I think it's whatever K-Dog said is. I think that's what it is, but I'm not sure.
It's a jug, but if it's a juggalo, I don't.
Yeah, good point. What is that?
Yeah, that's
I think
it.
Kadog
That's
found
it,
it.
Kadog.
What is that? Okay. A1 decals?
The Hatchet Man decal sticker.
ICP. Okay, yeah. Insane
I've
Clown
always
Posse.
wondered what that logo was, and that's what it is. ICP.
Yeah,
I didn't
ICP.
know that.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a juggalo tattoo.
Nice.
She's a juggalo. Oh, nice tat. Anyway, she whips her titty out and just feet away from the bird. So the bird's face with this idiot.
I'm
and her
flabbergasted.
Look at that titty out. Now that's being a mother. Looking out for your hungry child. We need to feed all the children in this country. Titty breast milk for everybody.
The government is like that teat.
And so she some photographer there with the media caught a picture of it. She found the picture and then blasted it out to everybody. And she's like, it quickly went viral, obviously. There is no, I'm feeding you in 10 minutes. It's I'm feeding you right here, right now, or you're screaming. A hungry baby is a hungry baby. While there,
Give me a break.
She got like hungry babies do, and unbeknownst to me at the time, a reporter took this photo of us. Yeah, of course. You whip your titty out at a fucking campaign stop. Of course they're going to capture a picture of that. Here's the problem I have with her. Because normally I don't care. Whatever. You see it in a restaurant occasionally. It's like, whatever.
I'm always shocked at what a big issue this is.
Yeah.
Whole public breastfeeding.
Well, she's an advocate for titty feeding in public. That's why it's like, oh, okay. So no matter what, you're one of these that's just going to whip a titty out and try the most inappropriate times that's going to cause a reaction from people.
Kid's not even hungry. She's just.
Yeah, you're just sticking his head on your tits.
Like, God, no more.
That's the problem I have with it. It feels fake. Like, okay, well, where can I get the most attention for titty feeding my kid?
I love it. That's your cause. That's just okay.
Seems like a weird cause, doesn't it? So my boobs went viral today, but it's okay because it was Bernie Sanders. Honestly, the praise came with death threats and a lot of hate mail. Honestly, I've cried 3 times already for some of the hateful messages I've received, telling me my daughter should be taken away, or that I'm just an uneducated low-life hick. Well, you know.
What's with the hate mail? Like, what's an example? Do we have an example of the hate mail sent to her?
No.
You bitch.
Yeah.
Feeding a kid like that with your boob.
Put your titty away. Inappropriate. Oh my God, that's so cool. Lauren says. Is it, Lauren? Is it really cool?
Woohoo, that's awesome.
This is a Facebook post.
Yeah.
Oh, that's from a different time that she did it. So yeah, she's advocating for that.
Her whole Kadog is showing off that essentially her whole Facebook page is just
her
photos.
whole existence. Is
is just.
So
to watch out. She'll only have to pop out another kid if she wants to keep up the cause.
This is her 4th kid under 4. So she's like keeping the string of shitty kids going so she can keep titty feeding.
Right. Is that her? I wonder if that's the only reason she's having kids. Like, does she want them, or is it just once I lose this kid, I won't be able to fight for the cause anymore?
Yeah. Well, I think you can if you keep them going. I think you can keep that lactation going for a long time, right?
You could still be suckling your mom if
I could, but I'm not. Just
but you could. It's the point.
Yeah, you both have mothers. So does Kadog. We all have mothers here.
She was tweeted at by
picture Mike latching onto that dime-sized nip.
That's what I was thinking.
She was tweeted at by Bernie Sanders campaign, who said, as a society, we should never stigmatize women titty feeding in public.
That's a quote.
That's an actual quote from Sanders' campaign page. Look at anything to garner votes. How do we help with the women vote?
Yeah.
Tell them you dig titty feeding in public. They love that. They're all over it.
Opportunism at its best.
What did it say again?
As a society, we should never stigmatize women for titty feeding in publip.
Like
never.
Jay's right. I know there's like there's this huge, for some reason, this big fight where people feel so strongly pro or con, but I don't really think that society is stigmatizing it. I know there are these weird,
there's a huge segment who can't stand this.
Yeah, it just seems very Look at me. It seems very look at me to
I never
me.
thought that they would take
Totally.
a picture.
There's an easy
There's
way,
a discreet way to do it.
Of course there is.
Or you can stand up behind Bernie Sanders at a rally with thousands of people and do it.
And scream your head off with your tit out and grabbing your kid. Like, yeah, you could do it one of a couple ways.
Ooh, look at the dental work.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, but I'm talking about vampiric.
Whoa.
Holy
You
shit.
sure she's
man.
not a Cruz fan? She just didn't stumble into the wrong rally.
I'll be darned.
Wow. Thank God she's not titty feeding, by the way. She'd destroy that thing, wouldn't she?
Whoa.
Those are some rough
Whoa.
It's a rough grill.
Wow. No offense to her.
No offense to her, but her grill is nasty.
Hey, Jay, she's the one that asked for this. She's the one that wanted to be caught titty feeding, as you can see from her Facebook page. It's
Put
a
herself in the
constant with her.
limelight.
Yeah. Me.
Oh, are we seeing areola at that point?
It's blurred areola, but it's areola.
That's an enormous areola.
That is, isn't it?
Honestly, look at that.
Wow.
And I love how they blur it out, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that could be. Hey, do you need a bigger closet or porch to store your
do.
shoes?
Yeah.
Call Krista Jelski of Remax Suburban, and she will find you exactly what you're looking for. As a gift to TDC listeners, Krista will provide you with a new pair of shoes on closing day. Check out Krista's website at kristasellshouses.com or call her anytime at 586-918-0900. Speaking of shoes, our buddy Adam, who challenged Big E to the marathon,
the
Vegas marathon that took place in November that Big E bagged out of in typical Big E fashion. Adam chimed in, and he would like to be the shoe providing sponsor of said event this October when we run in Detroit, Mike.
What do you mean the shoe provider?
He's going to provide us shoes.
I don't need shoes. I'm going to be pushed in a cart. What do I need shoes for? I could wear dress shoes.
You're
for
probably
Christ's
going to
sake.
need to at least walk.
Why?
Because I doubt that other thing's going to be able to go through.
Can you walk 3 miles, Mike?
Absolutely not.
Are you
Without
kidding?
unequivocally, no.
Is that a joke?
No. 3 miles?
No,
No.
I was talking about Jay. Was that?
Yeah, Jay, was that a joke? You making fun of me? I feel like I'm the butt of the joke again.
So what do you think, E? Should we press him for some pink Asics?
Yeah, pink
Yeah.
or purple.
Awesome.
I like Nikes.
Look at this chick.
I know.
Notice the closed mouth.
Oh my God.
Always the
She's-
closed mouth smile.
Yep. Oh yeah, I would too if I was her. She's got double juggalo tit tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah, this is pretty important for her to provide for someone and something. I think she gets value from that.
Literally every picture is her with half a titty out and some idiot suckling it.
I have no idea if this kid has a nose or 2 eyes
No.
because all we see is just side of the
Looks
head.
like he has some pretty big ears, though.
For all we know, that's a doll. Look at that areola. You're right, Jay.
Yeah, it's bigger than its face.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That's
Poor thing.
troubling, Mike.
All that hair, how adorable.
Imagine if that's your mom. Like if you're looking back now and your mom through the years just posted 100,000 photos of you just latched onto her gorgeous tits.
If it was your mom, we wouldn't have an enormous areola. We'd have a nice dime-sized nip.
Right. But your mom, I mean, if she just had both your tiny little hands around that perfect titty that your mom has, and then there's you just playing it in between.
Yeah, no, I see your point.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be awkward. Wouldn't that be awkward for you now?
Yeah.
It'd be awkward for me. You and Chet, sharing that thing like crazy.
Very selfish of this chick.
Other news today that broke was Nancy Reagan died. Bobblehead herself.
Oh
Nancy
my God,
Reagan.
is she the biggest headed first lady ever?
Yeah.
Oh, she couldn't have weighed more than 98 pounds. And honest truth, she's Sputnik. She had to have 60 pounds of that in her head.
It's like an orange on a toothpick. Yeah, that is a big bobbleheaded woman.
It's incredible. You see like her putting her head like on Ronnie and stuff, and her head is like twice the size of his.
Look at it, poops. Yeah.
I hate when first ladies die, by the way.
Why? Do you expect them to live forever?
No.
Or?
No,
Because who cares?
Sort of, kind of. Yeah, it dominates the news
Yeah.
cycle, and you're just like,
Hi, I'm the guy that blew Ron for years.
I guess she had some interesting things in the whole astrology, and her whole background is like being passed around by the Rat Pack.
Yeah. She was didn't she have parents that like gross. Yeah, his head's too big. We're out of here.
I think
and
so.
the dad split and the mom was in like a traveling circus or something.
What?
And
Look at the
left
size of that heed, man.
It's a huge heed.
My God, man. It's friggin' huge.
Come on now. A little respect. Yes, she's got a ginormous cranium. It happens.
Dude, Elf, I remember that. That whole
She was
scene
on
with
Elf.
Yeah.
She was on all those shows doing the whole Just Say No campaign.
Just Say No. He didn't realize this, but she was the
No,
start
I
of the
did
Just
not.
Say No campaign.
She's why we don't have a drug problem in this country
That's right.
anymore.
She put a
Right, dude.
stop to it.
Yep.
Nipped it in the bud.
Yep. She was able
You
to
gotta
stomp
get
that thing out in the
before it
early 80s.
starts, which it sounds like what she
A
did.
whole different world without her giant heat.
Could you imagine if drugs were a problem
Oh
in this
my God.
country? I mean, she really, for a first lady, I mean, yeah, she could have taken up the meal program at inner city schools or campuses throughout the
Look
country.
at the size of that heat. My God, man. Look at it.
It's bigger than Ron's.
Shit.
What?
Shit, man.
And there's Barbara looking like George
Oh, my
Sr.'s
dude.
great Nana.
That
was
was
she ever
always,
young?
I know.
Was she ever young?
No.
I've never seen a picture of a
Look
young.
at that, dude. Honestly, if you said that's not his mom, that's his grandma, you'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, wow,
Right.
his grandma looks great.
Right.
Wow.
What a group photo
Goodar,
that
can you
is.
try to find like young images of Barbara Bush? I would love to see
Look at Nancy, though. She herself was an actress, correct?
Yeah, she was. That's how her and Ronald met. 1952, she married Ron Reagan. She was his presidency was from 81 to 89, and the Just Say No to Drugs campaign was spearheaded in 84 probably somewhere in there.
Man, I should have been born into a world with no drugs.
I remember
84?
being
That's-
very inspired by it, knowing
Yeah.
that there was an alternative. There's young Barbara.
Even there though.
Is it?
That's young Barbara. You
Wow.
can see her eyes. It's definitely
Doesn't
right.
he look younger than her though? I mean, I don't know how.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're
yeah.
not the same age. I guess.
Yeah,
Maybe
but the fact that she went white hair so quick, I think was what
Yeah.
did it.
She was on Different Strokes too.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. I don't think she was on the Dudley episode. The
I love you, son.
horse teeth.
Dudley in a bike shop.
But yeah, Just Say No. She was on Dynasty, Different Strokes. She said, drugs take away the dream from every child's heart and replace it with a nightmare. It's time we in America stand up and replace those dreams. They say that her efforts are credited with driving coke use down to a 10-year low.
Come on.
How can you declare that?
Come on.
maybe it was just a different.
Like
drug got
anybody looked at
cheaper.
that line and went, I can just say no to this. Nancy Reagan said I can just say no.
Well,
Are you
yes.
kidding me?
Yes.
She had
Well,
zero effect.
Nancy did that. She reached a lot of the youth, and now they're not doing cocaine. It's at a 10-year low. Thank
Not her
you
doing heroin.
to the first lady. Yeah, drugs are like anything else. They become in vogue. Heroin chic is a real thing. Heroin is dominating. As far as the drug culture goes right now, heroin is on a real uptick. Coke was killer in part of the 80s, and then it died. Coke was gone for a while. And so they all have their comebacks and whatnot. Heroin will be uncool again soon enough. And, but how you would just say, oh, Nancy Reagan, say no to drugs. Anybody you were trying to reach with that message would have been E. It would have been E as a 5-year-old that you're trying to reach to just say no. Anybody that was doing it was not going to put down the.
Well.
She
Shit.
says it's not good for you. Well, anyway,
They all need their cause, though. They need to champion something.
yeah, I'd say we've lost with that. That's a losing battle. The drug battle is not being won
By human beings.
currently. Yeah, human beings are
Seem to be
getting
like
a
drugs are awesome.
sound ass whooping by the drug world. It is going. I mark my words, E. It is going to be a humongous issue in another few years. Like right now, it just feels like a big deal. It is going to get way, way worse. The drug problem with the heroin, the prescription pill shit that's going
pills
on,
to me
dude,
and I know you really have that opinion on heroin, and I'm not saying you're wrong, but prescription pills.
Well, that's
dude,
what
it's-
heroin comes off of, though.
Is that-
Yeah,
is
they're
that
both
okay?
opiates.
They
Yeah.
can't afford the prescriptions anymore. You get knocked out of that
Yep.
See, I don't even.
that life, and all of a sudden you're looking for that same opiate high.
Yep.
And it's heroin.
Shows how
Mhm.
little I know, I guess, about drugs.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
the opiate high, dude. And yeah, it's just going to get really, really bad because they are starting to crack down on a lot of these doctors, Dr. Feelgoods and all that shit all over the country. They're getting cracked down on. And so what do you think? Those people are going to quit?
right.
As fucking
right.
if. They're not going to quit. They're going to go on the streets where it's much cheaper to buy heroin. But the problem is you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. And that becomes a real issue when all of a sudden you get a much purer batch of heroin than you've ever had before. You do your normal dose, and all of a sudden it's tenfold what you're used to, and that's when people OD.
Yeah.
This isn't breaking news here, but that's how the cycle works. Anyway, so Nancy dies, and she'll be buried at the Ron Reagan Presidential Library in Simi Valley, California, next to Ronald. In lieu of flowers, nobody wants flowers. Can we stop with the flowers? Everybody always says
where
that.
Should I be sending? If I thought about sending flowers to Mrs. Reagan, so what should I now send?
Well, in lieu of those, you can just cut a check to the memorial.
Oh, can I? How nice of them.
Isn't that just a way of introducing where they want funds to go?
Mm-hmm.
You know, in lieu of flowers, as if anybody like you or I was going to send it. They're just like, you can just send money to the Reagan Library.
Can I?
Yeah.
How awesome, dude!
You can remember Mrs. Reagan with a memorial gift.
Giant head.
With a memorial gift. Do you think the coffin looks weird? Do you think they've? Do you think at the top it just expands and people are going, "Huh? Why is it? That's an odd
like a
shape."
T.
It'd probably be.
Like a Tetris and T, or T and Tetris. Never mind.
Yeah. It'd probably be something that would become cool. Like, oh wow, did you see that really cool casket that Mrs. R went with? And then there'd be a run on those with some expanded head,
tut-like.
Anyway, so yeah, you can hook them up with a memorial gift, quote unquote.
Could we have given money to the library a week ago if we wanted to?
You could have, but we've just brought awareness to this.
Oh, okay.
This is actually great news for the library.
dying was great news for the library. They're probably begging for it.
The political usuals jumped in, of course, seeing an opportunity, and Trump tweeted, Nancy Reagan, the wife of a truly great president, was an amazing woman. She will be missed. Well, Donald, are you missing Nancy Reagan?
Not going to change anything in my life, personally.
Ted Cruz, Nancy Reagan will be remembered for her deep passion for this nation and love for her husband, Ronald. The Reagan family is in our prayers. Oh, whew, thank God. The Cruz family told us that Nancy Reagan's in their prayers. She made it to 94. It's not bad.
Not 100.
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
Mike, no, I don't need that one.
Go ahead.
You're not a husband.
I know what struck me about the Nancy Reagan death coverage was how so in the hopper these shows had a story on this. It's like, boom, as soon as the ticker showed that she was dead, you turn on Fox, CNN, whatever, and they're running their Nancy Reagan is dead coverage, full with interviews of people and
they've been
video and all this shit. I mean,
the music was produced, the clips were produced already, ready to go. That's
pull up the Nancy is dead coverage.
Yeah,
boom.
She's in the hospital coverage. No. She's actually dead. Pull up the dead coverage in memoriam. Nancy Reagan, go. It was funny because they were covering Flint. They're having this. I was watching it too, and they're having a serious debate about politicians have let these people down, and they need to hear from. And it was like there wasn't even a excuse me. We need to cut away and go to. Sorry guys, I mean to hold you right there. We'll get back to this very important discussion about how downtrodden the situation is here. It was just like boom. they cut him off in mid fucking sentence. They were
New
like,
show.
Bye bye. No one gives a shit because she died. And that was the end of that coverage.
Yeah. And then you have to sit there and go, was she really important, or did she just suck the president's dick?
Yes. Multiple ways to look at it. Well,
get some Wells in here, Mike.
Well,
maybe one of the last times you can do it.
Ron was up there balls deep in some new chick. I think someone tapped him on the shoulder. What's that? She's here now? Well, I knew this day was coming eventually. Yes. Well, Nancy, I'd like to say, ladies, say hello to Nancy.
I have a feeling Nancy would be a gamer given her history in Hollywood.
Yeah. Nancy was rumored to be rather dynamo in bed.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
passed around the Rat Pack, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that I would get a real respect for.
Yeah.
Hey, backed by popular demand, Ford is conducting its amazing Key for Key event. Right now, exchange your current vehicle for a brand new 2016 Ford without spending a dime out of your pocket. Also, they may be able to match or lower your monthly payment. Ford will assist you in terminating the remainder of your loan or lease, no matter what you owe. Plus, Ford will make your first month's payment. So hurry. When March ends, so does Key for Key.
Oh, the poor Sikhs, Jay.
God damn these
Poor
guys.
Sikhs.
Just because they're wearing turbans. They happen to also wear the turban.
And the beard. We've talked about the Sikhs before. They get put in this unfortunate situation. I mean, is it safe to say that extremist groups have hijacked their look? or they share a similar look with some extremist groups, and so
it's
it makes
safe
them a
to say
target.
that people are just friggin' ignorant, man. You see a turban. Get him!
America,
Get him, man! America! Get out of my country!
That
Go
guy's
get!
wearing
Go
a
on now!
turban.
Get! It's my land! Get off my land!
You're right. That's all it is.
all
Someone
it
sees
is.
a turban and you go, God damn it!
He's got all the telltale signs. I see a beard and a turban. Go and get!
That's a foreigner. That's a foreigner.
You're
Go
not
get.
from here. You're a different skin color to me.
There's I feel kind of bad for this dude because obviously he's not all there, but he's a naked man was wielding a ceremonial sword and was arrested in Spokane, Washington.
We talked about the ceremonial swords, though.
Oh yeah, there he is. You can tell.
So this is a Sikh with a ceremonial sword?
Oh no,
this is
he's no Sikh.
So what are you talking about Sikhs for?
Well, he vandalized a Sikh temple. His name's Jeff Pittman. He was found by volunteers when they entered the temple.
Of course, his name's Jeff Pittman.
Or
Pittman?
Gurdwara. He entered the Gurdwara.
Okay.
And they were like, "What the fuck happened in here?"
What did Pittman do?
Pittman trashed the joint. He took his ceremonial sword and just fucking started slashing shit.
You son of a bitch, Pittman.
He's knocking shit all
I
over.
can't tell what's knocked down and what's supposed to be.
I guess that's this.
Yeah, what's all that?
Yeah, that's drawers ripped out. I think there's
Was there a bed? A
Looks like some
ceremonial
sort of-
bed?
Say some sort of
that's where they get their
ceremonial.
ceremonial humping in.
Ceremonial.
Look at all this shit paper. The Sikhs did not leave it like this, Jay.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this is all thanks to
is
Mr. Pittman.
this? What is this thing?
Look at you walk in there. What's the first thing you'd hit with a sword? Tell me the truth, guys.
The flowers.
Yes, you'd wail right in the middle of that vase. Am I wrong?
No.
And then you turn your attention to the other two vases. How did those keep standing? Pittman! Pittman!
He's kind of crazy. That's the only excuse you can come up with. I mean, whatever this dress is would be in
Yes!
in
Totally.
I'm not. Anybody can knock over a file cabinet. What
Come
fun is a
on,
file
Pittman.
cabinet?
I know you have a ceremonial.
You've got the sword. Let's wield it.
And you're just kicking down a file cabinet,
I would so slice that vase in half.
or like just into that bed, dude. Just take it and ripping it open.
Why not?
Anything that would be
The
sword worthy.
the story with Pittman is he was looking for a place to crash and was like, "Oh, I found a church of some
Sikh
sort.
temple.
I'm going to go in here and I'm going to crash, get out of the elements, get a nice, restful, peaceful night of slumber." And he went in there and he starts looking around and he's like, "Son of a bitch, look what it's an ISIS." He thought it was like a, he thought it was like
stumbled
a,
into
An ISIS stronghold.
he thought it was a safe space for ISIS.
That son of a bitch.
and he's like, he's probably thinking the whole time would be a hero.
yeah.
You know,
Oh, I'm gonna come out of here and
Dude.
they're like,
look what I did. They thought they had I found a sleeper cell. I found a sleeper cell right here in Spokane, Washington. I
Freaking
found an ISIS
Pittman.
sleeper cell. And this son
And
of a
just
bitch went in there with it and grabbed a sword off the wall. He sees pictures with turbans and beards. He jumps to a conclusion and starts ripping pages out of their holy books.
Oh, Pittman.
Yeah. So they're like, this does not appear to be targeted, meaning it appears that the suspect was once inside, he became aware of what he thought was an ISIS or Taliban items. He was like, "No way. Going to town."
I love that it's not even the same religion, man.
I
It's
know.
it's like an offshoot of Hinduism, if I remember correctly. It's not even Muslim.
Yeah, it's sort of, well, in a weird way, but I'm in no way trying to minimize the suspect's actions, but just want to be clear. We have no information he went to the temple with the intention to vandalize it. It started out as a random act of burglary, rapidly turned into a hate crime. The worshiper Gitu Man said that the confusion between the two entirely separate faiths of Sikhism and Islam happens frequently. As much as I would love to say that it comes totally from left field, we get this stuff on a daily basis.
he said left field.
Yeah,
that
he just
analogy.
said left field. Said, but it happens all the time. So it's something we're used to as a community. The sword Pittman picked up belonged to the temple. He alleged, tore pictures out of their holy books, destroyed decorations and furniture, blew off a couple fire extinguishers. Oh, Pittman.
Imagine Pittman arguing that in court. Thought they were ISIS, Judge.
Yeah, I think it's a fair argument. It's a good argument.
Hey, man.
I thought it was
better than nothing.
I was defending America. I mean, you don't
I'd
want to go
try
down for a
it.
hate crime.
If you're Pittman, I'd try it.
Hell yes. I mean, you plead I'm a moron.
Yeah.
I mean, you throw yourself at the mercy of the court. Honestly, I believed I was defending America. I thought I walked into a sleeper cell, Your Honor. Please have mercy.
Awesome, man. I totally think that's what he should argue.
An imperfect Sikh community once he was handcuffed, they offered him tea and food. They gave him free food while he's handcuffed.
Mr. Pittman,
please have a sip. Please, you've earned it. You worked hard last night, I see. And so yeah. Anyway,
the Sikh are loving people.
They are, of course, they
forgiving people.
Look at that hat! Wow. Kid always finds the best Sikh pictures. Poor sons of bitches. When we can't, right? It's part of the religion. We can't take the beard and the hat off for a couple of years. Let things cool down.
I don't think you can.
Really?
No, it's.
I mean, did your prof ever? Did you ever walk in while he was?
No.
Sikh. He was swordless or hatless.
No, he had the decorative dagger. Yeah, I told you about that.
Yeah.
Always had the turban.
But you never walked in and he had it like on the dresser and then like jumped at it. Oh,
the dresser.
Stuffed it back in his holder or anything like that.
I never walked into his bedroom.
No, in his at Michigan State. Like he didn't think anyone was coming in. He was off this hour. He forgot he had a class, and then J Detroitcast walks in.
No, he was always dressed very Sikh-like.
That's just so you're always prepared for battle? Is that the idea? I don't mean to be rude. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. You just ask him. He says, "I don't know." You don't know.
I thought Jay would know.
Oh my God.
It's I don't know. I remember it was some central thing to the religion, like the look, the garb was, and part of that was this dagger.
Yeah,
dagger or sword.
It's a good look. I wish I could walk around with a dagger or sword. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Trying to get on a plane with that shit. I mean,
yeah, do it. I'd probably use mine. That's the problem. I'd get pissed off at someone in traffic and use it. I wouldn't be trained. Should we get to email? I want to get to the debate upstairs.
We do have some email, Mike.
What we got?
But before we do that, Merck, we got to tell you about our buddy Merck. You have an annual physical to make sure you're healthy. What do you do to make sure that you remain financially fit? Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and unbiased investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call today. Tell him that you're a friend of the show for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. 248-626-2000 and ask for Mark. He's a good dude. Give him a call.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
You know, before I jump into the crux of our email, Mike, I'd like to thank John, and I think we all would like to thank John for our nice Red Bull cabinet.
Well,
he one day was watching YouTube and saw our Red Bull fridge sitting on a shit stool. You just grabbed a stool and threw it up there. It's one of those things. Like, it's an amazing thing that happens here. Like if something gets put somewhere, it can remain there for many, many months.
Well,
it's just kind of like, oh, okay, that's and
it's the house it lives in now.
Yeah. So boom, it got put on a stool. We never really thought about it again. It was just kind of a temporary holding spot, but John saw fit to build us a nice little Red Bull cabinet, which is really, really well done. Some nice crafts.
We're taking him at his word that he built this, right? I mean,
he sent pictures to me during the build process, so I tend to believe him, but I guess
anything's possible. He could have literally gone anywhere, bought that, took the top off, took a picture, glued it back on.
Could have. It's nice though. Thank you.
Look underneath it. See if there's a made in China sticker underneath that. Will you?
It got Kadog's vote of approval. So
it did. Kadog, you like it? Solid?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's well done. Tongue and groove.
Yeah. That man knows his way around a wood shop.
He does. Very good.
Nate writes in podcast heroes and putrid homo. I'll take hero.
I'll take hero as well.
I know you guys don't talk about reality shows on the podcast, but there's a guy on the new season of Survivor. God, that's still going on. He's named Peter, who looks like he could be Jay's long-lost black brother.
Really?
Not only do they bear a striking physical resemblance to one another, but this guy is also a smug asshole.
Really?
Oh,
let's
take a look.
See what he looks. He does.
Really?
Yes. Oh my God, dude! You could morph that into. Oh my!
It's the black version of me.
It's black. Look at this one. This other picture that he's got.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now that one more so.
The black version of me. I love it,
dude. If you cut his head out and put it in mask form, if you wore it in here, I probably wouldn't even notice. I probably wouldn't even know it for like an hour and a half. I'd be like, "Are you wearing a mask?"
And the fact that he's a dick too. That's great. Guy's also a smug asshole. Just thought Jay should know that he may have a brother from another mother out there. Might be a millionaire from winning Survivor. You might be able to convince him to reroute some Survivor funds to the podcast.
It's your jaw.
Yeah.
It's just really sturdy, manly jaw you have, and he's got. It's the slope of the face.
Okay.
No offense to our Asian listeners. It's this right here, this part of the face. It comes down. It's kind of the nose. Let me see here. Yeah. It's kind of the nose. His is a little more bulbous than yours.
Peter is also an ER doctor, so on some level, he could probably check out that liver spot for you. This one, is it more prominent?
Yeah.
Does it become more prominent?
I bless the range down in
Yours is
Africa. It looks like Africa.
Yeah, you're just more Western Europe.
Yeah.
Yours is really blending in. Did you get some sun?
No, I don't think so. I haven't really left the crib.
Huh.
But,
Yeah, yours is not as prominent as it once was.
Well, that's good. Maybe it's going away.
Well, thank you, Nate, for noticing my black counterpart. We all have one. You know,
black doppelganger.
You know, we all have one.
I did not know that.
Are you claiming that one's yours?
I'll take it. Sure.
I mean, that's pretty good. I've seen better doppelgangers than that.
I'll take it until we find another that's better.
All right.
AA non writes
It's better than Chaz Bono.
Hey, dudes, I think it was in episode 529 that Eric said, quote, each show is better than the next, end quote.
I know. I did say
Which,
that.
if you think about it, means the show is on a steady decline. For the record, I disagree.
Each show is better than the next.
I did say that. I remember saying
I think
it.
you've said that before. Couple
Each
times.
show is better than the next.
So what would that mean? Like
That
if you
would
were
mean that this-
literally
tomorrow's
This
show-
show's better than tomorrow's.
Right. And then tomorrow's show is better than the
Yeah.
next show.
each show is better
It is.
than
It's
the
a
next.
steady decline.
Right. It's
Well
wow.
put, E.
Right.
Wow.
What?
Nice job, E.
Is that what you believe, E?
No.
Do you not like this show, E?
I misspoke.
Do you hate this show?
I misspoke.
Tim writes in, hey guys, I have to share with you guys my best / worst toilet blowout story. I was on my third date with this woman. So this, of course, comes on the heels of El Prez coming over here and just blowing up your toilet.
Oh, absolutely committing suicide in the toilet.
Oh,
yeah.
it's unconscionable what went on up there.
Yeah. It was Taliban-like.
Tim says, I was on my third date with this woman. Things were going great, and she gave me the nod. I ended up staying the night. When I woke up, I realized I was running late for work, but I had to shit bad. I could not wait until I got to work. I had to use her toilet. I ended up dropping a thumper dumper complete with ass splash.
Yeah.
Gotta hate poop and
Well,
talk
well
about
put,
it.
Tim. That's a great
I
descriptor.
hate talking about shitting. I hate it.
Complete with ass splash. Okay, yes, we've got it, Tim. We're there with you. It's like we're
Yeah.
sitting there with Tim.
Why do E and I hate this subject more than most?
It's
Jay likes
one
it.
of my least
We are sitting
favorite
there
subjects.
with Tim. We can imagine exactly what's going on right now. When I was done, I knew it was bad. I went to flush the toilet, and it just started bubbling. The water levels started rising. Luckily, it stopped right before it boiled over onto the floor. Problem avoided. Well, at least I thought it was. I started looking for a plunger, but there was no plunger to be found. I had no choice. I gathered myself and walked out into her family room and said, I'm sorry, I have to run. I'm late for work. Oh, by the way, I couldn't find a plunger and your toilet is plugged. Best part of the story is that she lived in an apartment, so she had to call the maintenance man to come unclog the toilet. The whole time that guy was plunging, he must have been thinking what a beast this woman was.
Yeah.
Right?
Did
It's
he
gotta
ever
be
hear
a-
from her again?
Yeah, he was shocked. She called me for another date. Keep up
Really?
the great work, says Tim.
Nice.
But it didn't say they got married. Was it just one more date and that was it?
I
I
get to
don't-
bang her again after
Oh.
plugging up her toilet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe she wanted to return the favor. Let's do it at your house.
Huh.
Destroy his toilet.
Josh writes in concerning Cracker Barrel. I'm not sure how it came up because of the Kalamazoo shooter, right?
I think so.
The Uber shooter.
I don't remember exactly how it came.
Yeah, you got me, motherfucker.
Yeah, I
Josh
don't
says,
remember.
guys, I love the barrel. It is an absolute integral part of my road trips and hunting season breakfast. Love the fireplace seating. The golf tee game is definitely a challenge that I don't think I've ever solved more than once. On a trip down to Dayton a couple years ago, however, my 8-year-old son solved it on his very first try.
Wow. Good for him.
Really?
I had mixed emotions about this, but congratulated him anyway.
Yeah, I'd be pissed.
It was not by dumb luck. He understood and followed the rules clearly stated on the bottom of said wooden time killer.
What?
I don't know if I believe that.
The
We've
rules.
never done it again, but with enough
The instructions.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, the rules.
I know, but he made it sound like it literally told you how to do it, and you're just stupid for not reading it.
No, he's saying he followed the actual rules. Like you
Okay.
have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
jump
jump
only
once.
once.
Oh, I got you.
We've never done it again, but with enough repetition, it's got to be possible just by chance. Even a blind nut finds a squirrel once in a while, righty?
Yep, sure. I mean, we just had Jay
Well
admit
put.
that he doesn't know that he's ever done it. So, I mean,
I've gotten down to 2 left, which is pretty good.
Hmm.
Just saying.
Eddie,
So have I, by the way.
Yeah. I don't believe you, but
Oh, yeah.
Eddie writes in, are you familiar with, I think his name's Frank Luntz. He's the guy on Fox News who does the, he does those focus groups during the debates, and they're all, you know, hooked up, and they vote for, you know, they dial like how they feel about the candidate as their candidates answering and all this shit
on Fox News channel.
Yeah, and then after the debate, they'll go into like his room and he'll
I
be
haven't
like,
seen him.
Yeah, you know, who's a supporter of Trump? You know, let me see hands, and they'll raise their hands and be like, how did you feel about this question? You know, and then they'll call on him and
they'll say whether they hated it.
They won't do the dials at that point, but that data will already have been collected, and he'll interview them real quick.
Okay.
It's actually an interesting segment. So it looks
it does sound interesting.
One of our listeners, Eddie, was on this, and his buddy took a screenshot of him. That's Edward, as you can see in the red shirt behind the individual with the mantis-itis. And that's why Eddie writes in and provides this picture. This kid has severe mantis-itis.
Wow, he sure does.
Is that incredible?
That's a great. You don't see a male case of mantis-itis very often.
That's
very,
son of
very
a
rare.
bitch, man.
So wait, who's a listener?
Red guy.
And what was he doing on there? Oh, he's just part of a.
He's part of the focus group.
Wow.
Yeah,
cool.
he was on the Frank Luntz.
Couldn't even wear a Torcast shirt or something. Jeez.
Good point, E.
Yeah.
The hell, Ed?
We should mention the fine folks, listeners of the Detroit Cast, who cannot stop tweeting at Let It Rip on Fox 2.
I know, I love it.
There's a bunch of them that have gotten on there with
a couple screenshots.
Yeah, with references to, or just hashtag the Detroit Cast.
That's usually what it kind of is. It's usually, sometimes they've tried to like have it be about the topic, but yeah, hashtag.
Hasn't it started with like Big Magic Johnson?
Yep.
What has he done? Can you tell me? Big Magic Johnson. What has he done? He's got AIDS.
I didn't give him those AIDS.
And when he had those AIDS, I went to my synagogue and I prayed for him.
Dude, it's so funny, dude. Seeing it pop up on my wall, just like the hashtag Detroit Cast and Let It Rip.
Yeah, I know. It happened like 4 times over the weekend.
I know. I really do wonder how that.
One of them got him on
works.
Fox News too.
Nice work.
Fox News. I didn't
Someone
see
got
that
one on Fox News as well.
I didn't see that one. That's nice.
Hashtag the Detroit Cast.
Damn it! I wish I would have missed that one.
Hey, we'll save the rest for tomorrow.
I love those. More of those are encouraged. Those are great.
Yeah, speaking of that, share the show on Facebook, etc. Push it around to people. You know, retweet us, you sons of bitches.
Please do. We should go watch what's going on in Flint.
Let's go see how Bernie's doing.
How's Bernie doing? I'm pandering to all these sons of bitches. I don't know any of them. I already spoke with their leader. What more can I do?
Almost out of bottle of water.
The leader.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to be so annoyed tonight. Maybe we can live tweet some of it. Maybe. We'll see. Anyway, should we call it a day there, Jay?
Call it a day.
We got to come back tomorrow morning and do it all over again. So with that, we will call it a day. And enjoy, folks. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen to God, watch you.